Hello everyone. So this is the next judgment in the series of landmark Supreme Court judgments, and the judgment that we are going to do today is again one of the most important one because it is basically a historical judgment from the three judges case. Yes, the name of the case is SP Gupta versus Union of India 1981 Supreme Court. It is a judgment which is very important in the history of the transfer and the appointment of judges, because this marks the starting of the collegium system. It is a mark of starting that the judicial autonomy or the judicial independence basically was decided in the series of three judges case, और उस three judges case की starting यहाँ से हुई थी. So it is a historical judgment because the three judges case followed by the fourth case in 2015, which basically abolished the NJAC system. So basically ये जो three judges case followed by the fourth case, in these cases the judicial autonomy, the judicial independence and the constitutional aspect of such judicial independence was discussed. So in this case, basically the crux of this case is that this case revolves around one of the most important questions, and the question was, what is the role of judiciary? What is the stand of judiciary in the appointment and the transfers of the judges from the Supreme Court and the High Court? For that purpose, SP Gupta versus Union of India में जो majority judgment दिया गया था, in that judgment the word consultation, which is used in Article 124, Article 217 and Article 222 of Indian Constitution, this word consultation was interpreted. So basically this talks about the transfer and appointment of judges, and the main question was the balance between the executive and the judiciary. That because जब हम देखते हैं for example under Article 124, जहाँ पे the appointment of the Supreme Court judge is being done by the President. So the President appoints a Supreme Court judge, and it has been mentioned that the President will make such appointment after consultation with the judiciary, after consultation with the Chief Justice of India. So there is a conflict here that the primacy will be given to either the executive, that is the government, or the primacy will be given to the judiciary, that is the CJI here, because President has to take consultation from the CJI. So यहाँ पे the question was that the primacy has to be given to whom? That whether the word consultation means consultation or it means concurrence. That whether the President is bound by the opinion of the CJI or not. So in this case, basically, it is also known as the judges transfer case. In this case, it was held that in the appointments and transfers of judges, specifically Supreme Court judges and High Court judges, the word consultation would mean consultation and not concurrence. That means a strict interpretation of Article 124, 217 and 222 is to be done, in which the word consultation has been used. That means the President is going to consult the Chief Justice of India. But the final say, the final stand regarding the appointment or transfer will be of the President only. So this judgment, definitely the majority of this judgment hampers or affects the judicial autonomy or the judicial independence. But in this judgment, it was also held that even though even though the primacy is to be given to the decision of the executive or the government here. But this decision cannot be arbitrarily taken by the government. That means the president has to take this decision after consultation with the judiciary, even though primacy is given to the decision of the president. But the consultation has to be there. And it was held that the appointment or the transfer of the judges should be the administrative order, but it should not be punitive in nature. That means it should not affect the judicial autonomy. It should not affect the judicial independence, because judicial independence is one of the most vital, essential feature of the Indian Constitution, that the judiciary has to be independent. But in the appointment or transfers, such independence of judiciary is exercised only after the executive interference or along with the executive interference. So we have to maintain a balance. It was held that we have to maintain a balance between the executive and the judiciary. And in this balance, the primacy will always be given to the executive. That means the president's decision in appointment and transfer of judges will always be the final one. But then, in order to maintain the balance, the president has to take this decision after taking consultation from the Chief Justice of India and other judges of the judiciary. So that was the basic point which was held. And after this judgment, so after the first judge's case in the series of 3 judges cases, इसके बाद जो next judge's case आया था, the second judge's case, that means this case was followed by another judgment in the year 1993, the Supreme Court Advocate on Record case, in which the judgment of S.P. Gupta versus Union of India was overturned. It was overturned, that means in that judgment, the judicial independence, the judicial autonomy was given the primacy over the executive. And it was held in that judgment that the word consultation would mean concurrence. यहाँ पे उसका उल्टा held किया गया था. That the word consultation will mean consultation only and not concurrence. But this judgment was overturned afterwards in 1993. And it was held that the word consultation will mean concurrence. It is interpreted as concurrence. And in that second judge's case, then the collegium system was also introduced. And the collegium system, it actually set up the judicial autonomy or the judicial independence in the constitutional setup. It upheld the judicial autonomy in the constitutional setup. So this judgment was reversed in that judgment. So now let's have a look about the details of this judgment and the factual background and then the decision accordingly. Let's come to the judgment now. So the name of the judgment is S.P. Gupta versus Union of India 1981 Supreme Court. The case details are: the date on which the judgment was pronounced was 30th of December 1981. Supreme Court का case है ये. The bench comprised of, so basically it was a 7-bench judge judgment, and the bench comprised of Justice P.N. Bhagwati, Justice A.C. Gupta, Justice V.D. Tulzapurkar, Justice R.S. Pathak, Justice S.M. Faisal Ali, Justice D.A. Desai, and Justice E.S. Venkatramaiah. And the citation, the detailed citation of this case is also given in the slide. This is the background of the case. As I just mentioned, that in the series of 3 judges cases, this is the first judges case, also known as the judges transfer case, that is S.P. Gupta versus Union of India. So it is also known as the first judges case. In this case, it began when several lawyers and judges challenged the transfer of the High Court judges, an issue surrounding judicial independence and transparency in the judicial appointment. Transparency as in, again, the balance. That judicial appointment, which is majorly the role of the president. The president has to decide regarding the appointments and the transfer. But then this decision is taken after consultation with the CJI and the other judges of the relevant court, High Court or Supreme Court. So basically, there should be a transparency in the judicial appointment. So that was the main issue in this case. The petitioner argued that the government was undermining the judiciary's independence by transferring judges against their will. Because again, the executive, the president basically, has the power to make the decision. So the allegation here, the argument here was that the government is undermining means adversely affecting the interest of the judiciary, the independence of the judiciary, by transferring the judges against their wills, which they claimed was politically motivated and affected judicial autonomy. So basically, the executive interference in the judicial matters was questioned here. Next, the central question before the Supreme Court were the extent of executive control over the judicial appointment and transfers, and whether the judges' transfers could be carried out without affecting judicial independence. So this was the main question that I just mentioned, the balance between the executive and the judiciary. Giving power to the executive but maintaining the judicial independence. That is the balance that has to be created, which was the central question in this case law. All right. This case also brought into question the constitutional status of judicial accountability and transparency in the appointment process, especially regarding the consultation between the Chief Justice of India and the executive under Article 124 Clause 2 and Article 217 of the Indian Constitution. Article 124 Clause 2 deals with the Supreme Court judges' appointment and Article 217 deals with the appointment of High Court judges. In both these articles, the power lies with the president, but the president has to exercise this power after consulting various members of the judiciary, various judges from the judiciary. So that was the main question here. All right. This was the main question here, that what should be the extent and the scope of this word consultation. Whether this word consultation means strictly consultation or does it mean concurrence. जिसको बाद में decide जब इसमें किया गया तो बोला गया that the word consultation would mean consultation and not concurrence. So that was the main question here. So these are the legal provisions which are involved. Article 124 Clause 2 deals with the appointment of Supreme Court judges. Article 217 deals with the appointment of High Court judges. And Article 222 deals with the transfer of judges. So these are the related articles or the legal provisions. See, Article 124 Clause 2 of the Constitution, it is basically relates to the appointment of the judges of the Supreme Court. And the power lies with the President. And the President exercises this power in consultation with the Chief Justice of India and the other judges as deemed necessary. Similarly, Article 217 may be, it deals with the appointment of the High Court judges. This power is also exercised by the President. But the President exercises this power after consultation with the Chief Justice of India, the Governor of the state, the Chief Justice of the respective High Court. So executive or the government acting along with the judiciary. So government and judiciary दोनों के बीच में balance बनाना था. Next is Article 222. It deals with the transfer of the High Court judges. The transfer is also done by the President. But the President will exercise this power after the consultation with the Chief Justice of India. So तीनों ही provisions में it is a conflict between the interest of the executive and the interest of the judiciary. This was the central question in this judgment. Now let's look at what was held in the judgment that we have already discussed. But इसको एक बार देख लेते हैं कि जजमेंट में एक्चुअली हेल्ड क्या किया गया था. इन सुप्रीम कोर्ट अ मेजॉरिटी डिसीजन upheld the government's authority. That means the primacy was given to the executive, or the primacy was given to the government. It upheld the government's authority in judicial transfers and appointments. That means the transfers and appointments of the judges, ruling that the executive had the primacy in appointing judges. That means word consultation will mean only consultation and not concurrence. So basically the primacy was given to the government. Primacy was given to the executive over judiciary. The court held that consultation with Chief Justice of India did not mean concurrence. Consultation does not mean concurrence, and the executive had the final say in the matter. But this point was reversed in another judgment, the second judge's case के अंदर 1993. All right. So इस केस में बोला गया था consultation does not mean concurrence and the executive will have a final say in the matter. However, the court emphasized that the judicial independence was paramount because again अभी मैंने आपको बताया that it is one of the most essential feature of the Indian Constitution, judicial independence. So this decision has to be taken by the president after consulting the judiciary. All right. Why? Because this consultation is there because judicial independence is vital for the Indian Constitution. And the transfer should not be punitive. It should not be punitive. That means it should not be like a punishment against the will of the judiciary. It should not be punitive or arbitrary. The judgment clarified that the judicial transfers could be made for administrative reasons but should not be used as a means to undermine the judicial independence or to punish the judges. That even though the primacy is being given to the government here, it will be an administrative order, but it cannot be an arbitrary act. It has to be reasonable. It cannot be punitive. Therefore, the consultation is required. This case set a significant precedent by affirming executive supremacy. So this is the first judge's case जिसमें executive supremacy was upheld in judicial appointment. It was later revisited. मैंने आपको बताया इसके बाद next was the second judge's case in the year 1993. All right. So at this point was revisited in this second case, and उस second case में the Supreme Court overturned, reversed this ruling, this position in SP Gupta, and established the primacy of the judiciary in the appointments through a collegium system. The collegium system was promoted, and ये जो point था जो कि consultation वाला point था SP Gupta का, it was overturned, saying that consultation will mean concurrence. So that was the consequence. So this second judge's case is the consequence of the first judge's case, that is SP Gupta versus Union of India. The judgment in SP Gupta versus Union of India remains notable for its discussion on the transparency and accountability in the judiciary and the balance of powers between the executive and the judiciary. So this is an important judgment, जैसे मैंने starting में आपको बताया, because in this case the balance between the executive and the judicial actions was discussed. And in this case, the inclination was shown towards giving primacy to the executive. But it was reversed or it was overturned in the next judge case, in next second judge's case. So this was about the judgment of SP Gupta versus Union of India and the discussion that I had to do. Now let's look at the practice question. So we have two questions, एक MCQ based and एक answer writing based. MCQ question देखते हैं सबसे पहले. The first judge's case refers to which of the following cases? A. Keshwananda Bharti versus State of Kerala. B. SP Gupta versus Union of India. C. Minerva Mills versus Union of India. या D. Indira Gandhi versus Raj Narayan. So abhi we just saw that the first judge's case is known as SP Gupta versus Union of India. So option B is the correct answer for this. This is the descriptive question regarding the first judge's case. The question is, analyze the implications of SP Gupta versus Union of India judgment on the judicial independence and the appointment process in India. So now in this situation, the word used here is analyze. Analyze means you have to discuss what was the impact of SP Gupta versus Union of India. तो इसमें आप start कैसे करोगे? Firstly, you will write the point in dispute. What was the motive? What was the point which was in issue in the three judges case? So the point which was in issue was the balance between executive and judiciary. So you will start by writing the purpose of the three judges case. That is the conflict between the executive and the judiciary and under the relevant provisions of Constitution. That is Article 124, Article 217 and Article 222. Then you will write about the first judge's case, that is SP Gupta versus Union of India. What was this case all about and what all points were held and what was the conclusion of this case, that the primacy was given to the government. So you have to write the ruling of SP Gupta versus Union of India, and then in the latter part of this question, क्या दिया गया? How did this case impact the evolution of collegium system? That means इसके बाद SP Gupta versus Union of India के बाद latter part of the question में you have to write about the collegium system, which was introduced in the second judge's case in the year 1993. So after that you have to write Supreme Court Advocate on Record case, in which basically you have to write the rulings of that particular case, how the SP Gupta versus Union of India's decision was overturned in the second judge's case, and by overturning the judgment, how the collegium system was evolved. That you have to write. So basically you have to write the series of the three judges case here. So that is something that you have to write. All right. So that is about SP Gupta versus Union of India, in which we just discussed about the brief summary of the case along with the factual background, the legal provisions and the main ruling. And we also practiced 2 questions.